Good morning to you. So there are reports that Gaza's border with Egypt, the Rafah crossing, would open earlier this morning to let foreigners out and let aid in. That's been denied by the Israelis. What's the situation right now?
Well, the situation, Joe, is that thousands of Gazans, including foreigners, have amassed at the border crossing with Egypt trying to get out after this piece of news that seemed like a good development last night when we heard from the Palestinian representative there that they believe there was a deal in place in which there would be humanitarian aid allowed to flow into the Gaza Strip in exchange for Palestinian foreign nationals being allowed out. But then this morning, both Hamas and Israel said there was no agreement in place for the Israeli military to have a ceasefire over that area to make sure that the civilians trying to leave wouldn't come under airstrikes. And so as of now, there doesn't appear to be any civilians actually getting out, which is the latest piece of devastating news for all of those people who are in the Gaza Strip desperately trying to reach safety back in Egypt.
Yeah, I want to ask you a little bit more about that, Josh, just these harrowing images that we're seeing coming out of Gaza, warnings from UN agencies about the situation inside the Gaza Strip. I mean, they are just so incredibly dire. Tell us the latest there, aside just from the people trying to get out at that crossing.
Well, the medical system in the Gaza Strip, Savannah, is at this point really at a breaking point. You have over 1 million Gazans who have now been displaced from their homes, and tens of thousands of them are actually sheltering in hospitals because they're believed to be one of the only places that likely won't be targeted by airstrikes. And I want you to hear from the head of UNRWA, the UN's agency for humanitarian help in the Gaza Strip, about what's going on right now. Watch.
Gaza is being strangled, and it seems that the world right now has lost its humanity. If we look at the issue of water, we all know water is life, and Gaza is running out of water, and Gaza is running out of life. Every story coming out of Gaza is about survival, despair, and loss. Thousands of people have been killed, including children and women. No place is safe in Gaza.
Now, there were reports that Israel had agreed to restore the water supply to the Gaza Strip. But as of this morning, the head of the Gazan Water Authority is saying that is not true. So far, they have not been notified of that.
So, Josh, I want to ask you about where you are right now in northern Israel. We understand there's an ongoing operation to try and evacuate Americans from Israel.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. So if you look up behind me, this is a Royal Norwegian cruise ship, Rhapsody of the Seas, and it is expected to leave in just a few hours, carrying up to 2,500 Americans who are trying to get out of Israel. This is organized by the U.S. government, and it is going to be taking them to Cyprus, where they will then be on their own to try to book hotels or flights back to the United States. This is part of what the U.S. is doing, along with charter flights, to create options for Americans who are in Israel and don't feel safe to get back to the United States, given the fact that Delta, American, United, and other airlines have all stopped flying to and from Israel right now, Joe.
And Josh, before we let you go, do we have any new information on the hostage situation?
The only thing we know is not great, which is that Israel this morning increased its estimate for how many hostages are in Israel, in Gaza Strip, I should say, saying that they have now notified families that there are 199 people they believe are hostage in the Gaza Strip, which is a significant increase from the earlier estimates. We know diplomatic negotiations are ongoing to try to create some type of a hostage prisoner swap between Israel and Hamas, but so far no signs of progress on that front, Savannah.
All right, Josh Lederman reporting from Israel. Josh, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.